The Mayor of the eThekwini Metro Municipality, Mxolisi Kaunda, has unveiled a new fleet of Durban Solid Waste unit trucks. It's part of the municipality's efforts to keep the city clean. But residents in suburbs south of Durban say they want the council to urgently fix sewage infrastructure. Newzroom Afrika's Karinda Jagmohan has more for you.
We're here at the launch of Durban Solid Waste Unit Fleet, a 47-rich fleet of refuse trucks, which cost the city 213 million rand. We came here to speak to the eThekwini Mayor Mxolisi Kaunda about the concerns of residents, specifically those south of Durban, who have been experiencing sewage leaks frequently in their area. When there are heavy rains, raw sewage begins to increase in its capacity. It leaks out of outlet areas onto roads and into people's driveways, their homes. Of course, this leaves a health hazard for residents, and what they tell us and allege is that at least 900 sewage pump stations across the city are not in working order. This means that raw sewage is not pumped into treatment stations, and in the case of Merebank, where we visited this morning, raw sewage is apparently being pumped into the beach, leading to high E. coli levels in beaches. Now, we did ask the mayor about what is happening with regards to repairing infrastructure. Take a listen to what he had to say.
Yes, when I pronounced the budget policy statement, we put it clear that we are changing the approach. The approach is to invest on the infrastructure, especially the maintenance part. Because the maintenance, when you inherit a city where there's a huge backlog of people without services, you would like to advance, putting new services to other areas. So in that act on its own, you seem sometimes to be overlooking the maintenance, which is very critical. So we are putting budget to respond to that. It requires so much of money that needs to be invested into it, but slowly, gradually, we'll be able to attend to that, because we are starting to make a serious investment to deal with that. And you will recall that most of our pump stations as well have been damaged by these floods and left severe damages. So we are attending to that. We reprioritize our budget to start fixing other bulk pipe which were leaking. Of course, we could not do all of them, because we still needed to have this new budget to come in as we are starting the new budget area now, the new financial year, so that we are able to deliver on such.
Now, that's the mayor. He was speaking here again at the launch of these trucks, which of course, sanitation and waste collection in the city has been a talking point. In fact, a dump site right next to this specific DSW depot has been considered an environmental health hazard because of the toxic fires that emanate or that are burnt at the dump site on a regular basis. Take a listen to how the mayor responded about that.
Yes, the city is aware of that. We are noticing that, but you know that we are also being monitored. So there are tests that are being conducted, whatever that is polluted. So there are systems that we are putting in place to turn things around in that site to ensure that we adhere to all the legislation.
So, of course, that's the city then trying to deal with these growing issues of sanitation and hygiene in the city, and of course how this also links to the impact on the environment as well as people's lives. The city is still trying to recover from a very devastating 2 years, in fact 3 if you go back to the COVID-19 pandemic, and in the middle of this, residents concerned about how weak infrastructure will impact them, the suburbs, the community in the long run. We'll keep a watch on the story. For Newzroom Afrika on channel 405, I'm Karinda Jagmohan in Durban.